Hey there, it's Sunday, September 15. It can't be almost 3 o'clock already. Kind of just getting started for the day here. We removed these side panels off the row of cabinets that are by the window, the patio window. This one had a big damage, it had a damage on the side here where the particle board was crushed. So I saturated it with super glue and then put a clamp on it, and it's restored. A little bit of a bump right there. I got to sand that down and we're going to be fine. Next, we're going to come up with our strategy on how we're going to do this. I think I need to preform the Formica to make this bend and not be under continuous tension out here, and to prevent it from peeling back. So that's going to be the main task for today. Yeah, these things are in perfect condition, and I already got that one. And here's the mica I took off. Nothing to it really. I realized after I got started here, this had a little bit more damage than I originally thought. Get my straight edge over here. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I noticed that it was a little flaky here. So I took some super glue with my finger and rubbed it in, and I'm completely coated with super glue right here. But as long as you keep your finger moving, you won't get stuck to it. And so after I rubbed in the super glue on all this, it was like getting a little flaky here, and the end looked and I put some accelerator on it, and then after it was all done, I noticed, it's swollen. So this might have been water damaged here. So that's a little bit more sanding than I want to do with my hand block sander. So we're going to use the belt sander on it carefully, because you could destroy shit with the belt sander. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this thing around so that way I'm pulling with the belt like it would be on this end here, and you have better control. Let's see if I can do that without screwing up. Got it. All right, now we're doing the drawer slides. This is take 2. I lost all my videos. I don't know what happened to them, but we're going to do this again. When it comes to these drawer slides, the instructions that come with them, throw them away. Don't even think about trying to follow those instructions. They're going to do nothing but mess you up. The easy and sure way of getting these things installed perfectly every time is to not use measuring methods, and definitely don't try to use a level, because a level is not accurate enough. If you use a level to try to get these things straight, you're going to be off every single time. So what you do is you fabricate yourself some spacers. And in my case, this is kind of a weird cabinet, but this piece of 1/4-inch plywood is my spacer. It's the one I used here, and it's the one I used on the other side as well. You stick the spacer in there, you drop the slide down to it. Then you get yourself a drill guide. I like making my own drill guides. You can buy them. I think these work better. They're not as easy to work with, but they're much more precise. This just happens to be a 1/4-inch bolt that I drilled a hole through. It helps to have a lathe, but you can do it with a drill press. All right, and I got a 1/16-inch drill bit here, and I'm pre-drilling all these holes. And you put that little 45-degree taper up inside, and you can pre-drill that like dead center every freaking time. All right, so that's how you get the cabinet side installed. The drawer side, and you do these first, okay? On the drawer side, you put the drawer in place, and you put spacers underneath your drawer from the bottom of the cabinet up with the space that you want. I use a 1/4 inch at the bottom. Okay, and then these weird things I got going on here, I have different size spacers between the drawers. Regardless, you know, if you're going to be doing more than one of these, even if you did one, I'd still use spacers. But once you get the spacer things figured out, it makes it super easy. So you put your drawer in there, and you pull the drawer out enough to get the front screw in. And if you want, you can use the slotted screws to make yourself comfortable for getting started, because you may want to tweak where the drawer sits after you get it installed. Once you finally get everything squared away, then you use the round hole. And when the countersunk screw goes in the round hole, the thing ain't going to slip on you. I've got to put this screw in here and put this slider on the other side, and then I'll show you how we do the drawer. Okay, here's some more tips. I've got 2 of these drawers are at the same level, and I've positioned this slider a 1/4 inch higher than that one on purpose, so that I don't have to worry about the screws colliding with each other. All right, that's the way I chose to do it. You know, you can do it however you think is best. There are multiple holes in here that you can use for putting your screws in. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, you got one right there and one right there. The one at the very end is critical, because you're going to have a lot of pressure on this when the drawer is open. A lot of, you know, pretty much the whole weight of the drawer is going to be on these 2. So I try to get both of those screws in there. And you can put a third one. You can use a slotted screw also if you want. There's one there too. And then near, I don't know, what is that? Like the front third. And then there's the 2 in the back. All right, I don't have them all in yet, but we're going to get around to that in just a minute. So we got our spacers between the drawers. This drawer already has its rollers fully installed, and we can pull this out, and we are on this drawer, and these slides are not yet screwed in, the top one. We're going to do that now. So we have our height where we want it. Now you take your slide out, right? Put a little downward pressure, you know, not a ton, but just enough to take the slack out of what you got there, and move back. Okay, move this back to where you want, pretty much flush. Oh, the other thing in the instructions, they tell you to set back the outer slide 1/16 from the surface. You want 1/8. A 1/16 is too close. Any deviations here and there, and the drawer won't shut all the way. All right, so we can put a clamp on this, drill this hole, and do the same on the other side. So we got our front screw in, and we use a vertical slotted screw, because horizontally we're where we want to be, and that's not so critical, and it's dead on. It's easy to get this dead on. We got that on both sides. Now we're going to remove the drawer, and we're going to put the screw in the back, and we're just going to measure from the top to the bottom, put our screw in, and just get this perfectly straight with the drawer. It's that easy. Yeah, this helps too. I've got 1/4 inch plywood strips that I was using as my spacers to set here, so the drawer will set without tipping. And I can put my screws in and drill it and all that good stuff. Okay, I just got it started. Let's see how I did. Perfect. Love it. All right, it's Wednesday, September 18th. I already took a couple videos today, and I don't think I mentioned the date. I do that to keep track of what I'm doing. So I also didn't mention earlier, we're using pre-finished wood here, which is really nice to work with. It's pretty darn expensive. I mean, 1 8-foot length of this drawer side material was about the same price as the whole sheet of the quote half-inch pre-finished. This is what we're going to use on the bottoms. This is pre-finished also, so this is going really quickly, and I guess it's worth the extra price. I don't know. We've already got our grooves taken care of, and we've got all the sides cut for the top 3 drawers because they're the 4-inch, and this setup can cut it. Still not sure what we're going to do for the 10-inch wide second and third drawer, but we're at the point now where we could actually, I guess we could test fit one of each size, because there's 3 sizes here. We've got these are the as-builts, I guess you'd call it, after we fitted the side pieces in the actual openings with drawer slides taking up space, so we're not relying on a tape measure. We actually got the pieces of wood in there. We got all the sides cut exactly to the size we want, and then I mocked up the 4 pieces on my table saw, and I measured from the bottom of this groove to the bottom of the opposing groove, etc., to get the actual size I wanted for this, minus 1/16 of an inch, so that they'll actually fit in there. And so that's what I've got penciled in there, those sizes. So 6 pieces. Actually, they were not cut in that order. I realized I cut them long ways first to the 22 and 3/16, which actually, you know what? I need to double check all my measurements. And then, so I had a stack of 3 pieces. So I cut 29 and 13, then 29 and 7/8, and 26 and 7/8, all 3 at the same time. So I only had to make 3 cuts going the crossways. But yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm pretty sure I got all these right. I'm quite meticulous. Quite meticulous when I do all my cutting. They're widening our road out there. Be glad when that's done. And they're going to put pavement asphalt on it. All right, here we go. We are on to the tall drawers, and I don't have a big enough miter saw that, you know, the pull kind. So what we're doing is we're doing it in 2 cuts. We got our stop here, and then we flip her over. Like so. And then we just make another cut, and it's not coming out perfect, but we're cutting them large, and then we're going to finish them using the sled on the table saw to get them right on size and nice clean cut. And this is working out great. Hey there, it's Thursday, September 19, and these drawers are a raging success. This pre-finished material is a pleasure to work with. The plywood and these solid finger groove jointed, I don't know what kind of wood that is. It's pretty hard stuff. You certainly got to pre-drill or you're going to split it. Everything went absolutely perfectly without a hitch, except for one oversight. These top drawers, I did not account for this piece of wood being here. I just measured the depth of the cabinet, and I made all the drawers, you know, about an inch or so shorter than the cabinet, forgetting about this guy. So the top drawers hit and they don't go all the way in. So I'm contemplating what we're going to do here. I think we're going to try to use our oscillating saw and just cut that piece out. Does not look like this is going to be a fun job to do. I've already relocated these screws up to make plenty of way here, but we know that there's screws going into this. We just don't know where they are over here, so that could be a major hurdle for us, having to cut wood and metal at the same time. Ugh. That's about 8 board feet worth of cutting to do. That wasn't too bad, I guess, for some really brutal butchery going on in there to get that off. I mean, it's going to be back in the cabinet. You're never going to see it. It's fine. So here's how I did it. I took my circular saw and I clamped this piece of wood to it. And I had this actually the other way around, where this was resting on the top of the cabinets, that and this. So it would hold the saw, you know, so I can make a straight line-ish. And on the ends where I, you know, obviously the saw wouldn't go far enough, I used my oscillating saw, this guy here, with a aggressive wood cutting blade, which is about dead now. And it made a pretty easy job. So I'm beat. We're done for the day. What is it? It's almost 6 o'clock in the evening. Now all this needs is drawer faces. Look at the size of that drawer, man.